Good morning to everyone. Thank you for all coming out on this grand, wonderful, memorable day of the grand opening of the Gold Star Memorial Trail. I'm Glenn Daly, president of the Friends of Dodge County Parks. That's just a fancy title for me saying, yeah, I'll do it, a long time ago. So, and I've been loving every minute of it. So, I'll be your MC for today's events, and we are happy that you could join us for the grand opening and dedication of Phase 1 of the Gold Star Memorial Trail. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Rob Belk for our official welcome. Rob?
All right, thanks, Glenn. How's everyone doing today? All right, we can do better than that. How's everyone doing today? All right. Unfortunately, the weather isn't the best. I wish we had sunny skies, but we'll do what we have to do, right? I'm Rob Belk. I'm mayor of the great city of Mayville, Wisconsin. I would like to welcome everyone here today for this dedication as we dedicate the Gold Star Memorial Trail. This trail is fitting for our city, Dodge County, and the state of Wisconsin. This will serve our community well and for the county. In its memory of our brave soldiers who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, their memory will not be forgotten. I would like to give thanks to everyone who made this trail a success. For your hard work is a true fruits of labor and your kindness. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Belk, for those welcoming remarks, and thank you to the Mayville American Legion Post number 69 Color Guard and the Mayville High School Band, Mayville High School's Incognito Chorus, and Director John Dobsbrot for leading us in the national anthem. I'd like to take a couple of minutes real quick here. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn it over to the chorus for the anthem. My apologies. It just goes to show you could put a million things on paper and there's always going to be a hiccup. My apologies for that. I'm going to move forward now. I'd like to take just a few minutes to recognize the Gold Star Memorial Trail Phase 1 Executive Committee who worked so arduously to make this trail a reality. First, a brief history leading to the name of the trail. On January 9, 2014, Andy Nelson and Cindy Steinbach proposed a 2.1-mile paved bicycle and hiking trail from Thyler Park in Mayville to the Horicum Marsh Education and Visitors Center at the Friends of Dodge County Parks Incorporated board meeting. The trail would be called the Cardinal Connection. They were in need of an organization willing to accept and manage donations and grant funds for the trail. They requested that the Friends adopt their committee as and project as an ad hoc committee for the Friends of Dodge County Parks Incorporated. Shortly thereafter, On February 13th, the Friends Board unanimously approved the creation of the Cardinal Connection Committee and official support for the project under the Friends of organization. Shortly thereafter, local Gold Star families reached out to the Cardinal Connection Committee, offering to assist them with the project, requesting that the trail name be changed to the Gold Star Memorial Trail. The trail would be in honor of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedom and the families they have left behind. The committee and the Friends Board unanimously approved the name change, and now you know the rest of the story. The Gold Star Memorial Trail Phase 1 Executive Board has and does consist of the following people: Andy Nelson, Cindy Steinbach, Emily Dieringer Ribble, Dan Bell, Barb Gasson, Andrew Johnson, and then on behalf of the Friends of Dodge County Parks Incorporated, myself, Glenn Daly, and the county liaisons are Bill Ellenbeck and Nate Olson. I have never worked with a more devoted, focused, diligent, and hardworking group of people. The Gold Star Memorial Trail has morphed from a short 2.1-mile trail to a trail connecting the city of Mayville to the city of Horicon. And the future Phase 2, which will be the city of Horicon to the Wild Goose State Trail, and beyond that, Phase 3, which is the Wild Goose State Trail to Beaver Dam. So we have a lot of work to do yet, but this was the best start we could have possibly gotten, and I'd like to thank everybody for that. In addition to the Phase 1 Executive Board, I want to thank everyone who helped put this grand opening event together, including Mary Dowdy, Lynn Miller, Brittany Van Egtern, Liz Hersman, Andrew Miller, Nate Olson, and Emily Dieringer Ribble, and Dr. Beth Collister. Thank you to everyone who has worked on this project in any way. You are all to be commended for your hard work. Thank you. Now I'd like to turn the mic over to Bill Ellenbeck, Director of Dodge County Land Resources and Parks Department, for updates about the entire Gold Star Memorial Trail project. Thank you to Bill for all of his dedication to moving this project forward. Without his behind-the-scenes direction, we would not be here today. Bill?
Thank you. I know Glenn just mentioned some names, but really it took a community. The entire Dodge County community, the entire state of Wisconsin, and even beyond our borders. And I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I was deciding whether to thank Mother Nature for giving us the weather. She's going to hold off for a while, so thanks. Again, thanks for coming for this amazing day. It's something that's been in the works for over 5 years now, and we are appropriately dedicating this trail on National Trails Day at the end of Memorial Day week. The inspiration for this trail was to turn the tragic loss of our local heroes into something great at home for everyone to enjoy and remember the sacrifices of those heroes and the families they left behind. I think we truly have a great start to become a great, great trail. But nothing can happen without the seeds of belief. That has been my mantra and on my email signature since the beginning of this project. And it really sums up the building of this trail to this point. Starting with the seed being planted over 5 years ago by Andy Nelson, a local Mayville resident. He believed he had the answer to finally getting a trail built between the city of Mayville and the Horicon Marsh Education and Visitor Center. Something that had been tried before, but never really got full legs. Andy believed the Mayville community, businesses, organizations and others would fully support this trail and would donate to make it happen. And he was right. The belief was unbelievable. Large amounts of money were trusted to the Friends of Dodge County Parks. Many probably never heard of the group before, although they have been around for 30 years and were responsible for building the Wild Goose State Trail and many other county park improvements. The seeds of belief kept growing with each donation and show of support, and has resulted in just an incredible and unprecedented partnership of individuals, organizations, businesses, corporations, municipalities, and local and state agencies working together to make this project a reality. Total Gold Star Memorial Trail donations to the Friends of Dodge County Parks are nearing $500,000 and are continuing. About $435,000 of those have been designated for this phase and have been spent for this. Additionally, over $310,000 was granted by Wisconsin DNR through the State Stewardship Program and the National Rec Trails Program, and that is almost $750,000 raised for this project. The total cost estimates and fundraising goal originally were $650,000, which was met by this group by the end of 2016. Unfortunately, when finalizing the designs and engineering and going out to bid, some higher than expected cost nearly derailed the project. Thankfully, the seeds of belief extended to the Dodge County Board, and they agreed to provide supplemental funds to allow the project to move forward. I am happy to say that we only needed about half of those designated funds. I want to thank our contractor, Joe Waleski of Waleski Construction, and our consultant, Mike Lau of MSA, to helping to keep those costs down and to address all the challenges that we had during the project. It has definitely been a roller coaster ride with positives and negatives, typical with any large project. There were many times the group faced hurdles and twists, but we all knew that if we kept believing, we could work through this together. And we did overcome the challenges, and now we have an important facility that will serve our residents and visitors for decades. But this is only phase one of a multi-phase project with the ultimate goal of connecting this park in Mayville to the city of Beaver Dam about 15 miles away. Thanks to the city of Horicon and the Horicon Gold Star Group, last week their phase was opened, which consists of an on-road bike route through the city of Horicon from Palmatory Point to the Horicon Marsh, from Palmatory Point at the Horicon Marsh on the northeast end of the city, out to Whitty Park on the west end of the city. The Horicon Marsh phase lies between these two completed segments, but is currently only available for walking. We will be working with the DNR in the coming months to try to create a biking option to connect these two phases. The Horicon to Beaver Dam phase, that is the big one. That segment will pick up at Whitty Park in Horicon and connect to the Wild Goose Trail and then on to Beaver Dam. Route options are being evaluated, and we hope to have some solid information and costs by the end of the summer. So planning, grant writing, and fundraising can start for those. So we are not done, and we will continue to need our current partners as well as bring in new ones to make this trail vision a full reality. Enjoy this day, keep supporting the trail, and always remember our military sacrifices and the sacrifices of the family they left behind. In closing, I would like to just give a few special thank yous to some that had real critical roles to allow this trail to continue. First, I would like to thank our County Administrator Jim Milkey and County Board Chairman Russ Kotke. Without their belief and support of the project, the Gold Star Memorial Trail Group 5 years ago, the trail idea never would have made it to our committee or to the county board. Likewise, I want to thank the Land Resources and Parks Committee, my oversight committee, and the county board for their belief and support in providing the critical funding at the last minute. I would also like to recognize Kim Miller, who was the former president of the Beaver Dam Hospital Association, or hospital. At the time of the trail concept, she was the president there and was responsible for the very first major donation to the trail. And it really told us that we can connect to Beaver Dam, and we have the option, or have the ability. I would also like to thank Cheryl Housley and the DNR grant staff for making this happen. Without those grants, we would not be here today. And lastly, no, sorry, not lastly, I do want to thank my staff putting up with me for the last 5 years and focusing on this, but also for my maintenance staff, the field staff for taking care of this trail up till this point and in the future. And also I want to thank John's staff for here getting this property ready to go for today. And finally, thanks to the Johnsons and the Gassons. The belief meter really jumped when the Johnsons and Gassons approached the original trail group, requesting the trail be dedicated to Gold Star families, to create a happy place where everyone can remember our fallen heroes and the loved ones they left behind. Your boys would be proud of you. It took a lot of courage, emotion, and belief to get involved in the project, and I'm glad we didn't let you down. Thanks.
I'd now like to call up Andy Nelson for a few words on the trail and all of the efforts that were made and the donors that made this whole thing possible. Thank you.
Good morning. This is a great day. I know a lot of people worked. Well, I think Bill said we raised about $750,000. That's roughly how many hours went into putting this whole thing together. And a lot of people contributed, and there's no way that I could even begin to recognize everyone. But I do want to say two special thank yous to Tom Schuessler and Cindy Steinbach, because those were the first two people that I talked to about this project. And they gave me the confidence to believe that this could happen, and they helped in innumerable ways. So thank you to both of you. A project like this is something that doesn't happen overnight, obviously, over lots of nights. But I guess suffice to say thank you to everybody who contributed to it. And in particular, it's one thing to believe and maybe attend a meeting or two, but it's another to put your money where your mouth is. And there were hundreds of people that contributed to this project. And I'd like to just take a minute to thank some of our major sponsors who really, as Bill alluded, gave us the confidence to go forward, and we were able to leverage those dollars with the grant funds and really multiply the impacts. So I'd like to recognize, and maybe hold up your applause to the end, because there's a few here. I'd like to recognize the Ted and Grace Bachhuber Foundation, Agnesian Healthcare, Beaver Dam Community Hospital Foundation, Mayville Engineering Company Incorporated, Metalcraft of Mayville Incorporated, the National Exchange Bank Foundation Incorporated, Mayville Jam Fest 2016 to 2018, thanks to everybody who participated and attended, the Rotary Clubs of Mayville, Horicon, and the National Foundation, Saputo Cheese USA Incorporated, Horicon Bank, Fred and Ruth Schwertfeger, and all of the individuals who contributed to this project. Without your support, we wouldn't be here. We look forward to celebrating it and seeing you enjoy it with us as we go forward. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Andrew Johnson, a Gold Star father, to speak on behalf of the Gold Star families.
thank there's a lot of Gold Star families here. It's tremendous that I know a lot of you came from very far. I want to thank you for coming, and I'm sorry for your loss. And I thank you. This is a special day, and the Gold Star Trail is a place that's supposed to be a happy place, a good place. It's not a memorial where you go and are sad. It's a memorial that we go forward and live. It's a happy and good place for people of all ages. So I thought, actually for a couple of years, I thought this day would come someday, and been to the Legion camp up in northern Wisconsin and got to know the chaplain, the Wisconsin Command Chaplain, Chaplain Colonel Douglas Fleischfescher. And I got to know him the last couple of years, and I told him about the development of the trail, and every couple of months I email him and showed him pictures of what's going on, and someday we're going to get this thing built. And a year ago, I said, I think we're actually going to do this. And I gave him a little card, and I said, set your calendar for next June 1st. I want you to come here and speak. And the reason I selected him, of course, I checked with the county if it'd be okay if we had the colonel come and speak. He's known as, by the way, Colonel Flash among his troops and among Gold Star families. But I wanted someone, we have Gold Star families here, and what he has to say is for Gold Star families as well as the public, but I wanted someone that understood what it means, what sacrifice means. The colonel's been deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's been with soldiers that died. He's done funerals there. He's gone to the homes here in Wisconsin to tell the parents their son was killed. He knows it's a tremendous cost. And so we had over 300 families in Wisconsin that have lost someone, and it's a huge cost right here in Dodge County 5, plus one in 91-6. So I want to introduce the colonel, and I appreciate all he's done. And faith and hope is very, very important. So with that, I want the colonel to come.
First to Bill, regarding your comment about God and the weather, all I can say is that, holy cow. I mean, what God do we serve that washes the walk for us before we go on it, cleans our cars off, and then is drip drying them, and all we have to do is ask the Boy Scouts to cover any other spots that aren't there. I'm taking my watch off because I know I have 15 minutes. There's the old story I tell about my son, who served in the United States Army through the Wisconsin National Guard as an MP, that he would invite his friends to church to come to listen to me preach when I was in the pulpit in Oconomowoc, and his friends would say, your dad just took off his watch and set it there. What does that mean? My son would say, absolutely nothing. Today is the fulfillment of many dreams, hopes, and aspirations. 5 years ago, as you heard, this project began as a group of Gold Star families joined an effort here in Dodge County to build a 15-mile, 10-foot wide, mostly paved, non-motorized trail connecting the city of Mayville, the Horicon Marsh Education and Visitor Center, the city of Horicon, the Wild Goose Trail, and the city of Beaver Dam. That's quite an undertaking. And though it's been opened since November, around Thanksgiving of last year, it's being dedicated today because today is National Trails Day. It just also happens to be juxtaposed between our nation's Memorial Day recognition, which we observed on Monday, and the 75th anniversary of D-Day, upcoming 5 days from today. So this is a momentous occasion, and one which deserves our attention as we hold in high esteem those who have paid the highest price, and their families that have paid the highest sacrifice of giving their loved ones for the protection and preservation of our nation. Today we dedicate the Gold Star Memorial Trail as we honor our Gold Star families. They chose the name the Gold Star Memorial Trail as it is dedicated to all military members from Wisconsin who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country, as well as dedicating it to their families and the memories of those. Today, we are blessed to have so many of those Wisconsin families joining us in dedicating this trail and giving thanks for their loved ones' dedication to duty, to selfless service, to honor, and to their understanding and deep devotion of sacrifice. For without their service, we are not a nation that seeks to live to its highest ideals or celebrates its freedoms. I believe a bit of information is called for and needed for those who may not fully understand or have had an opportunity to be open to the term Gold Star family. The term Gold Star family is a modern reference that comes from the service flag. It's those flags or pennants that you see hanging in windows or in front of porches. These flags and banners were first flown by families during World War I. The flag included a blue star for every immediate family member who was serving in the armed forces of the United States during any period of war or hostilities in which the armed forces of the United States were engaged. If that loved one happened to die, the blue star was replaced with a gold star. And this allowed their neighbors and the members of the community to know the price that that family had paid in the cause and the call of uniting our nation in the freedoms that we hold dear. In reference to this, the United States then began observing Gold Star Mother's Day on the last Sunday of September, beginning in 1936. The Gold Star Wives was formed before the end of World War II, and the Gold Star lapel button that you see being worn by many here today was established in August of 1947. Today, the nation recognizes the sacrifice that all Gold Star family members make when a father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, or any loved one dies in service to their nation. Gold Star Mothers and Families Day is observed on the last Sunday of September, and Gold Star Spouses Day is April 5th. The strength of our nation is our military, and the strength of our military is its service members, and the strength of our service members are our families. Our military today, our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, active and reserve, recognize that no one has given more for the nation than the families of the fallen. To you, we pay tribute. For to you, we are deeply and forever grateful. And to you and your fallen service member who proudly wore the cloth of our country, we shall forever be indebted. I am humbled to stand before you today as your speaker. I've been a member of the United States Army for almost 29 years. Most of those years have been served in the reserve forces of our nation, having been mobilized 3 times, including Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan and Operation Iraqi Freedom in Baghdad, central Iraq. Each time that I still put on the uniform, I am touched by the incredible sacrifice of those who came before me in the service of their country, my family members included, those I have served alongside, and those who gave the ultimate sacrifice of their lives in service to our nation's freedoms. And as I've had the privilege of having 2 children serve in uniform, I think as well of those who are aspiring to serve. The challenges, the uncertainties, the dangers, and the trauma that they will face is incredible in our vast and rapidly changing world. Without that aspiration, without their valor and their bravery, their sacrificial love, which I have witnessed in all branches of our military, everywhere I've gone, we would be a weakened nation and a deeply troubled country. I have had the honor, a word I don't use lightly, to serve alongside such brave men and women who, though at times were fearful, carried out their duties with astonishing precision and diligence because of their training. Training that the military deeply ingrained in them through rigorous standards, repetition, constant diligence, and selfless sacrifice. To you family members who have given the ultimate sacrifice of your father, of your mother, of your brother or sister, son or daughter or loved one, we say thank you and acknowledge in the small way we can the pain and the difficulty, the grief and the loss that you have suffered over and over. As a chaplain, I've had so many opportunities to work with our Gold Star families. I've worked alongside our casualty assistance officers who have had the difficult but necessary mission of delivering the news to the family that their loved one serving in a branch of our military has died or been killed in action. To receive a knock on your door and see two military personnel standing in front of you is a difficulty only those who have lost loved ones in this way have ever and can ever experience. I've also had the privilege of working with Gold Star families at Camp Serenity, hosted by Camp American Legion near Lake Tomahawk, Wisconsin in the fall of the year. I believe this fall it'll be its 9th year. Camp Serenity's mission is to provide support and assistance to families experiencing a bereavement due to the loss of their service member. I have conducted numerous ramp ceremonies where it is the privilege of the base and the camp to pay honor to those who have given the ultimate sacrifice as they begin their journey home. I've worked with mortuary affairs and our Roman Catholic priests as they done last rites and blessed those bodies to come home. On the home side, I've conducted the funerals. I've been there with families who have mourned and who have lost and who try to find hope and peace on their journey again. With each experience in the midst of grief and mourning, I am so impressed with the resiliency of the military family and the pride that they share with the service member who shed their blood in service to their community, to their county, to their state, and to the nation. Our Gold Star families have sacrificed so much for which we owe them so much and can never be repaid. Never. To be truthful, what could we possibly do to fully show our appreciation, our gratitude, our indebtedness? As members of the military, we understand it's our duty to make sacrifices, to push aside pleasures, to endure hardships, the long hours, the rigorous physical demands that punish our bodies, test our minds, hearts, and will. I am honored to see the faces of those that I have served alongside here today, those that I have gone to war with, and those that my presence have been blessed as a result of their camaraderie. What we as service members don't always see, however, especially on our mobilizations or deployments, are those same sacrifices being made by our families. The worrying son or daughter struggling in school because they're struggling to adjust having their father or mother gone. our mother or father pacing early in the morning because the latest news report is talking about the Marine helicopter crash, the VBIED explosion that hit the Army convoy, the naval vessel that was struck by a suicide bombing boat, or the Air Force base mortared, or the Coast Guardsmen who are missing after a rescue and recovery mission. A grandfather who thought those memories that he had dealt with from Korea or Vietnam is now resurfaced. And all he can think about is his granddaughter or grandson who is going or serving in harm's way. The grandmother knitting away or wringing her hands in prayer for the loved one that is dealing with difficulty, who may have already come back only in physical shell. Mind still struggling and wondering about those still back on the other side. Or the brother or the sister who's so used to having their service member around, picking on them, pushing on them, driving them crazy, who has now lost their closest confidant in how to outsmart mom or dad's rules and get around them. In countless ways, our military families sacrifice so much, as much if not more than the service member who is surrounded by another incredible family called comrades, fellow soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, or Coast Guardsmen. We are blessed to have a new family. We have battle buddies, wingmen, who serve alongside us that are now a family in a whole new dimension, depth, and different way. A family of all backgrounds, various colors, many creeds, and even different languages from different parts of the world who aren't yet citizens of the United States, but I have identified with our ideals and hope to protect them as we do. People who serve alongside us, that we live, eat, sleep, sweat, smell, encourage, and if it is called for, while holding the line, if the mission needs, put their lives on the line alongside us. We have a whole new family, while our family back home is consumed with concern. We are indebted to these military families and to those who this day are willing to raise their hand and still serve. For those like me, who I shortly will put in my retirement packet, wish those behind me God's richest blessings and move on, realize that we take off the uniform, but we never stop serving. It only becomes deeper and more meaningful. That is the service of our Gold Star family that never stops remembering, always works to honor, and continues to uphold the loved one who has given the ultimate sacrifice for us all. This is the call of the military family, and today we recognize Gold Star families who have paid the highest cost of losing a loved one to serve their country. I sign off in the way that I end many of my emails through the military. We live in the shadow of those who gave the greatest sacrifice that we might serve in their honor. Thank you for listening, and may our gracious and loving Lord bless your day today and every day, remembering those who gave the ultimate cost for the freedoms that we enjoy. God bless you, God go with you, and may you always remember their sacrifice for us all.
Thank you, Chaplain, for being here today and being our keynote speaker and the very poignant words that you spoke to us. We really appreciate it. I'd now like to call Barb Gasson and Laura Johnson, two Gold Star mothers, forward to read the names of the recent KIAs and from the communities in Dodge County. Yep.
Hi there, I'm Laura Johnson, Gold Star mother of First Lieutenant David Johnson.
And I'm Barb Gasson, Gold Star mother of PFC Jacob Gasson.
We're going to read the names of the more recent fallen heroes from the communities along our trail.
While these are only a few of the many fallen heroes from Wisconsin, they represent them all, and we honor and remember them all.
Private Michael Fitz, 1992, Horicon. Specialist Michael Wendling, 2005, Mayville. First Lieutenant David Johnson, 2012, Mayville.
Sergeant Kirk Straseski, 2003, Beaver Dam. PFC Ryan Contafio, 2004, Beaver Dam. PFC Jacob Gasson, 2010, Beaver Dam.
At this time, this concludes the dedication portion of the ceremony.